I'm too high.
Hey.
Hola, hello. So my name is Paris, and today I'm going to be showing you how I plan for Nanowrimo, which is the National November Writers Month. So basically what that is it's where writers challenge themselves to write 50,000 words in a month. I've been doing it for the last 10 years, and I can shamefully say that I've only won 1 year, and that was at least 9 years ago. So this year it's going to be different. So basically I'll be taking you through step by step, super quickly, how I plan for Nanowrimo. And the way I've done it this year is very different than how I've done it last few years. Last few years I've done it where it's been very like by the seat of my pants, I think is the term, where you just make shit up as you go along. Basically you have like a rough outline by October, and then you just fill in the blanks as you go along. If you're somebody like me who works full-time and definitely doesn't want to do anything after they're done an 8.5-hour shift, then this is going to be perfect for you. So I'm just going to show you guys really quickly what my plot outline looks like. So my book is about dragons, so that's why there's a dragon head on the front. But it says Free, which is the name of my book, Nano, 2019 plot outline. It's a pretty hefty stack of papers for just like an outline, but I'll show you why it's pretty big. We flip this around here, and this is kind of what it looks like. So I have it where it's in chronological order from beginning to end of the entire book. And they're just in these small little paragraphs describing what's happening in the scene. And they have these little check mark boxes where when November rolls around, basically all I have to do is sit down, write in detail what's in this paragraph, and then just check it off. And that way the basis of the planning of the scene has already been done for me. It's almost like writing your story, but a mini version of it before November actually comes around. So you don't spend all this time filling in the blanks or puttering over all these small details that you accidentally missed. Sipping my tea. The best way to describe the way that I wrote this outline is imagine you're sitting down and you're pitching your idea to somebody else, but scene by scene. So I would come up to you, for example, and I'd say, hey, very beginning of my story, Birdie and Barn, the main characters, are traveling through the Yellowknife Mountains and the outskirts. So I already know what the Yellowknife Mountains is, and I already know what the outskirts is. And I don't have to describe that in full detail in the plot outline. Basically, all your plot outline is they start here, they get captured, they go from point A to point B, then they meet this character, then this character, blah, blah, blahs. And that'll help you just get your story plot worked out, because writing a book is very difficult, and even with a very basic storyline, you can get so caught up in the little details. For example, maybe you'll forget what this one character said, and then all of a sudden at the end of the story they're saying something completely different, and you're not going to be able to catch that if you're focusing so much on like these really, really small little details, or you're doing the opposite and you're not paying enough attention. And with this, you can really quickly point out when your characters show up, what their basic motivations are, etc., etc. And then it's almost like making the building blocks of your book, and then building off of it, which is what I'm about to get to. So my plot outline ended up being 27 pages. And I think it's 21,000 words. I went kind of overboard with mine. You don't have to go into like as much detail as I did, but give me 1 second. I'll show you an empty page without any of my notes. I have a lot of pages with notes. Okay. So yeah, like I said, it's point 4. Check it off. After you're done writing the basics of what happens in your book, from scene to scene to scene, that's when you get into the second phase, or I like to call it the second phase. In the second phase, if you want, you don't have to do this, but I do it just because I want all of my details flushed out as well before November comes around. And that was all of the highlights and the notes and that you saw on my paper. What I do is pink is locations and scenes that I want to have drawn out and figured out in detail. Because you can say Birdie and Barn, the main characters, travel through the Yellowknife Mountains. But for me, maybe I want to draw out what the Yellowknife Mountains are. Maybe I don't want to just have it in my brain. And if you draw it out, it doesn't have to be like a masterpiece, but if you draw it out, it really helps figure out like those very small details that you'll be writing in your book. So that's what the pink is. I highlight scenes, for example, as well that need to be very strongly visualized, and maybe I just like sketch them out. That's the pink. And then the yellow is character appearances or character things specifically. So I wrote in that they meet a character named Maybelle at the beginning, but I didn't write down what she was wearing. I didn't write down what her short-term goals are. So after I'm done having it printed out, I would go to Maybelle's name with yellow, and then I would do a little black line and I would say what she was wearing. So for example, Mabel is an elderly woman with curly brown hair in pigtails. She has a more homeless look with baggy jacket and huge bags across her back. And that's the type of stuff that you would do after you're done the basic plot line. Like I said, it's like a bit extra. It's for people who really like having details, but it helps me. And then last but not least, the little notes and stuff, the black lines, that's exactly what they are. They're just like miscellaneous notes that you can add in while you're reading through. For example, I have it where Birdie, the main character, is captured, and I wrote in, they bring Birdie to a white room. Well, who brings her to the white room? And then in the black note, I wrote, the man is the head chief. And then I put name ? So these are little things that I ask myself before November even rolls around, because these are going to be little things that you're going to get stuck on. You're trying to write 50,000 words, and then instead of, maybe writing your goal for the day, you're stuck for like an hour trying to figure out what the heck this guy's name is going to be. But yeah, that's how I plan for NaNoWriMo. Super short, sweet, simple, and I hope you enjoy. Share how you guys plan for Nano, if you do or you don't. I super love NaNoWriMo, not necessarily because I can actually achieve the goal, but more because it helps writers take initiative, because I know I wouldn't be trying to write a book at all if I didn't have this initiative, because we get so busy in our lives as adults, right? So yeah, if you have any NaNoWriMo traditions, go ahead and share them with me in the comments section, and I hope you liked my video. Bye guys! Kisses! Good luck!